Before we start this video, just check and make sure my liberal cohorts are not watching. But I'm going to go ahead and say everything is not about race, folks. And quit fighting with the damn police. A lot of heartbreak and loss of life could be prevented by just simply adhering to those two things. What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming trial of former Brooklyn, Minnesota police officer Kimberly Potter. This involves the case of her pulling over Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black male. He had a misdemeanor warrant, and during the arrest, he decided to fight back and try to get away. Officer Potter was attempting to tase him and effect an arrest and did not realize she was holding her service pistol and fired off a single shot. Dante did flee the scene, drove a little bit of ways, and he expired in his vehicle. We're going to run a clip and we'll talk about it from there, but I am going to say this as clear as day. I do not believe this case is racially motivated, and I hate that every time a white officer deals with a black suspect, the first thing people want to say is race. This dude was resisting arrest. He's only 20 years of age. He already has an aggravated robbery charge on his rap sheet where he pulled a gun on a woman and tried to take $800 or something from her. Now, this isn't related to that. That happened about a year earlier, but this guy is only 20 years old, aggravated robbery with a firearm, and now he's running from police in this case at 20 years of age. So this is not an angel by any means. This is, I strongly say it again, this is not racially motivated. Everything is not about race. But I'm going to roll this clip, and we'll go ahead and analyze the clip. When it starts, Dante has already been asked to step outside of his vehicle. He's being placed in handcuffs and advised there is a warrant for his arrest when he attempts to resist. So I'm going to roll the clip. All right, folks, first thing I would say is don't do that. And the likelihood of you ending up like that is virtually nil. Now, he was pulled over for an expired registration, and at that time they found out he had a misdemeanor warrant on him. It wasn't involving the armed robbery charge that was hovering over his head. Now, we'll link his armed robbery charge in the description, or that happened back on December 1st of 2019. This video you just watched, that was from April 11th of 2021. So a little bit over a year later. Yeah, I mean, what happened, there's no denying that he did not deserve to lose his life. He was resisting arrest. That is not up for any debate, but there was no need to kill him. But at the same time, the officer or her defense attorney, they're pleading innocent and saying that this is a mistake. Now, she's charged with criminally negligent manslaughter. She's facing up to 15 years in prison. No one, at least from any analyst that I've seen on all of the networks, the talking heads, nobody expects her to get 15 years for this. But nevertheless, she did take this man's life, and you see the video. He does not warrant being shot and killed. Here's the defense coming from Kim Potter's lawyer. He's saying because Dante was actively resisting arrest, she could not be consciously aware she was holding her gun. Now, I'm going to come out and flat out and say that's bullshit. As an officer, and this Officer Kim Potter had been serving for 26 years. So she was beyond a veteran officer. Okay, first, as an officer, your job is to deal with people who resist arrest. So the idea that she couldn't be consciously aware that she was holding a gun because he was resisting arrest is bullshit. That's what you do for a living, is you deal with people who do not comply and fight back. And you're going to tell me whenever that happens, you have no responsibility to know what the hell's in your hand? That's insane. Second thing is, for a woman that's been on the force for 26 years, or a man or whoever, let's just be real. A taser and a firearm, the weight is different. The texture and the grip is different. Tasers are generally bright colors, bright yellows and things like that. So how she could mistake the two, and they're placed on opposite sides of the body. Your firearm or your service weapon is usually on your dominant side of the body, or not usually, almost all the time it's on your dominant side of the body. And you have a crossbody reach for your taser. So if you're right-handed, your taser should be on the left side of your body, and your firearm's going to be on your right side. So a 26-year-old veteran, she's been on the force for 26 years, how she could make such a mistake, just call it what it is. It's a fuck up. So no doubt she is responsible for the death of Daunte Wright. And obviously, if his family has not already received a large cash settlement, that's a given. But I'm not here to say that Daunte was an angel of any type. I've laid out his charges and laid out his history. I'm just simply saying that this does not strike me as anything that's racially motivated. If you want to say that he was pulled over because he was black, I understand you have the driving while black accusations floating around, and that does happen. But let's just be real. Even the most racist of cops don't just fucking shoot you. This is because of him resisting arrest, which is what I said in the beginning of the video. If you comply with officers, a lot of heartbreak and loss of life could be prevented. And this is a clear-cut case where he's struggling with 3 officers, jumps in the car, takes off driving, and now he's driving with a bullet in him. This also is very similar to Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, losing his life as well. He was diving into a vehicle, running from the cops, and the cops shot him 7 times in the back. And once again, Black Lives Matter, Ben Crump, Jesse Jackson, and all of them comes out. Now, whether it's racially motivated or not, you hear my take on it, but whether or not you want to say it's racially motivated or not, there's no denying that these people would be alive if they were complying with the police. Jacob Blake, and once again, in this case, Daunte Wright, and a host of others, It's just awful that in the struggle to address racism, we have the worst, the worst people, martyrs or whatever you want to call it, just the worst people we're using to pursue equality or whatever the hell you want to say that does not take place in 2021. And Daunte Wright, once again, makes for a horrible martyr or whatever the case may be. And yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's just not always about race. But here's what her superiors had to say in regards to what happened. It's just a quick 11-second clip. I'll roll it in. Once again, we'll analyze it.
Accidental discharge.
This appears to me, from what I viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in a tragic death of Mr. Wright.
Did anybody not expect that man to say that? Now, I tend to agree with that. I do believe that it was a horrible accident, because you hear her yelling, you know, I shot him at the end of the video. So the idea that she tried to do this or she done it because it was a black, no, this was a mistake. It's just clear-cut mistake. And I cannot say it over and over again more that I don't believe racism had anything to do with it. It's just a fuck up. So I do believe she should be held accountable, because the man did not deserve to die. But this is not Derek Chauvin down the street from her in Minnesota killing George Floyd. This is far less intentional. It just looks like a mistake trying to arrest a genuinely bad guy that should have just fucking complied. So I'll just end the video once again by saying that if folks comply with the law, a lot less of this would happen. It just, everything doesn't have to be made about race. Sometimes you just screw up. Sometimes it's just a matter of the person that screwed up. And what I'm really hating about, really pisses me off about this, is that it's becoming more difficult for the cops to do their job because they're being over scrutinized, so to speak. It's getting to the point where if you're a white officer, you got to act a certain way if the suspect or the person you're dealing with is black. And it should not be that way. Particularly when the guy is fucking fighting with you and trying to escape. You know, they ran his background and he had a warrant. I mean, what are they supposed to do? Let him go because he's black? So no, I just don't see the racism in this at all. I understand it happened during the time when George Floyd's killing was all over the news, and it happened in the same local area as that. So I can understand it was a heated time. But yeah, looking at what went on, listen, the woman made a mistake. She should be held liable for that. She's probably going to lose quite a bit as it is, but no, I don't think she should be put back on the force if she's admitting that she doesn't even know how to tell the difference between a taser and a firearm when she's in a fight or whatever. No, she shouldn't be on the street anymore, but at the same time, no, she's not a cold-blooded killer. Anyway, folks, just wanted to drop that on you. Look forward to hearing from you. Let me know. Did I fuck up on this one too? Once again, hit that subscription so we can talk in the videos coming up. If you like what I had to say, feel free to hit that like, show your boy some love. If not, hit the dislike, drop a comment, let me know why, and I will see you in the next video. It's your boy Tim, the Handsome Liberal. Catch you later.